really foggy today, so it's dreamy conditions for photography. So take it from me, I live in that fog, which is how I knew that it was going to look good. So get on top of that fog and you can get some vistas like this. So that's my top tip, get above the fog. Now I've just been realizing the last couple of days that it's just gone a year since I made the switch to full frame mirrorless. Now, shock horror, photographer gives his opinion on going to mirrorless, but the reality is a lot of people, if they haven't already made the switch, are probably thinking about doing it. And is it a matter of time? Is it just inevitable? Are you just putting off the inevitable? Because these things, when they first came out, were rather expensive, and now you can get an older model like this and it can be a lot cheaper. That could be something to do with it. Or maybe you're just plain old stubborn and you don't think that these things are any better than a DSLR. Well, let me give you my my experience with the Canon EOS R, or EOS R. Now I've had this since October 2019. Now because 2020 happened, I haven't used it professionally in a lot of wedding environments. In fact, I've only done 2 weddings with this because all of my weddings got cancelled or postponed this year, which means I still haven't shot an event or a big event. I've done a few corporates and stuff, but still haven't done a big a huge amount of weddings with this. I've only done 2, but it did pass with flying colours, and that's one of the main reasons I switched. Now I might as well just mention it straight away. The main reason I made this switch was because I had a Canon 6D, which isn't bad. It's got a good megapixel count. It does a lot of good things for a lot of people. But for me, the eye autofocus and the crap ISO performance was a big factor in needing to switch to a bigger model. I could have gone to the 5D4, but what's the point? Mirrorless is the way forward. It's going to be like electric cars in 10 years time. We're going to be like, did we really drive petrol cars? It's going to be like that. So you may as well just make the switch. And this is not sponsored, of course, but what I wanted to say was the ISO performance is so good that if you're into astrophotography, you can take some handheld shots of the stars and of the Milky Way and not have hardly any noise, and with a bit of software tweaking you can make that look really, really good. And I travel very often without a tripod now for exactly that reason, so that is a huge tick in the box. Now because of the sensor that Canon have stuck in this, it really does perform really well in low light, which is perfect for weddings, and really impressed with the ISO performance. Now the second thing is I shoot a lot of headshots, portraits and actors headshots. Now this has eye autofocus tracking built in. Now this is probably the game changer. This is probably the main reason a lot of people will move to a mirrorless system, especially the Canon EOS. I don't have an EOS R5 or R6 or an RP, so I can't compare. But the software isn't that dissimilar, or the hardware isn't that dissimilar to the Sony system. The Sony is streets ahead, but the Sony's amazing, and this is just really good. So it's not quite as good, but it certainly is not rubbish. And when I'm shooting headshots, I really rarely have to worry about my composition too much. Well, not my composition per se, but the sharpness of the eyes, because this does the hard work for me, so I don't constantly have to back button focus. Another amazing reason to go mirrorless. Now this is more of a housekeeping thing, really. This might not be a deciding factor for you at all, but another reason that I love this camera is because it's got a mirror lockup. So every time I change lens or turn the camera off, there's a curtain in front of the shutter, which means it's not exposed. And I haven't actually cleaned my sensor since I bought this. That's how well it's done. Now fair enough, I haven't been to the plains and the deserts of Namibia and the sand dunes of, I don't know, Formby, can't think of anywhere better, but this really is a good move by Canon by protecting the sensor. So for me anyway, peace of mind, because I'm shooting right now on a Sony a6400, and any Sony users will know, as soon as you take off that lens to replace it with another, the sensor is exposed. So you constantly have to clean your sensor. So if you're working in professional environments and you always need clean sensors and constantly changing lenses, another tick in the box. Another huge factor for me sticking with Canon and not moving to I don't know, Sony or Fuji or something like that, Panasonic maybe, is because I've heavily invested in my lenses. Now this is the 35 1.4. I've also got an 85 1.2. I've got a lot of L lenses, and the great thing about this is with this adapter that you can buy separately, purchase separately, you can adapt your own EF lenses easily with no quality loss, and the autofocus performance is perfect. So again, if you find yourself in a wedding or event environment, or headshots, portraits, anything with a moving subject where you don't have the time to manually focus and you need to nail that focus, peace of mind right here. Yes, you can get the new sexy glass, which I really want to get, the new RF mount lenses. They do look amazing, but for me I can't justify it at the moment because the quality that I'm getting from this camera is just mind-blowing, especially with the 85 and the 35. The 85, when I'm shooting headshots, I can shoot them at 1.2 because the eye autofocus tracking will just nail it every time. Well, say every time. There'll probably be 1 in 50 that misses, and even then it's probably focused on the eyelash, not the iris. So again, another huge tick in the box that you can recycle and reuse your lenses. So I do apologize if this has been somewhat Canon heavy, because not all of you that are watching this video are going to be Canon users. But what I want you to tell me is your experience if you've got the EOS R, or indeed another EOS R version, R5, R6 or RP, and tell me how that compares to the EOS R if you've had a go with both. If you're a mirrorless user from another brand, again, let me know if you've used both, or just let me know what the camera is like. My fiance uses a Sony a7 III, and I think that camera arguably is even better than this, and I think this camera, the EOS R and the a7 III, will be around for 10-15 years. I don't think those things will be discontinued for a long time because they'll lose value, but they will retain their ability to be saleable, because everybody will want the tech that's in it. So that's my 2 pence. I'm going to go now and just get a few more handheld shots. Let me just get rid of that fly, because this fog looks amazing, and I think as we lose the light, we'll see the lights start to come on from the surrounding towns and villages, and we'll get that upwards illuminated fog. So fingers crossed I can grab some of that. I'm going to leave it there. I'm sorry that this was very Canon heavy. Not all of my videos are going to be like this, and if you want to check out any of my other videos, I would love you to. Lots of mountain climbing, and there's lots more mountains as part of my 35 and 35 challenge. If you don't know what that is, then go back a few videos to my Hay Bluff video and you'll see what that is. But as for now, I'm going to take a few more shots. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. See you soon.
Whispers in your eyes, question your intentions, and I don't know where you've been. It's getting underneath my skin. Something in your smile making me suspicious.